So an expression comes to mind, one that my dad had said when thinking about Spencer Lee, is that the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. It's easy to criticize. It's easy to talk trash. It's easy to put down someone if you don't know them, if you don't know their situation, etc. And I think there's a lot of that going on with Spencer Lee right now. A lot of people being critical of him. And, partially I do understand why. Because in a vacuum, you look at the last month and change he's had, he goes to NCAAs, he loses in the semis, he forfeits out. He goes to the U.S. Open, he enters, he makes the semis. Before the most anticipated match of the entire U.S. Open, Nick Suriano, Spencer Lee, Spencer withdraws. Those on its own, yeah, you can say, okay, yeah, that's not ideal. That's not good. You want wrestlers to finish tournaments, right? But I don't think people are looking at the full picture. I don't think people are looking at the record. What is the record with Spencer Lee? Is this a guy who is afraid to lose? Is this a guy who is afraid to wrestle injured when he doesn't feel his best? I think the record is really clear there. This is a guy that'll put it on the line. Okay, we'll go back to high school first, but then really 2021 is what I want to focus on. First, high school. Maybe you don't know the story, maybe you do. Spencer Lee tears his ACL his senior year. He's going for his 4th PIAA title, rarefied air, tears his ACL in January. Okay, he's injured. Bad injury to his knee, torn ACL. Doesn't matter. He continues his season, qualifies for states, makes it to the state finals, loses in controversial and narrow fashion, buzzer beater takedown, Austin DeSanto, and he doesn't win his 4th PIAA title. He finishes 2nd. Okay, so wasn't afraid to lose, wasn't afraid to wrestle injured. He wanted to give it a shot, and he did, and he fell just short. But let's look at 2021. Spencer goes to the Big Ten tournament. He's looking as good as we've ever seen him. He's wrestling incredibly well. He's in the Big Ten finals against Purdue's Devin Schroeder, and he tears his ACL, his other ACL. And when I say that, he went into that match with one ACL. He left it with none, okay? He was already wrestling with a torn ACL. Okay, so this is a person with a high, I don't know if you want to call it tolerance for pain, high ability to wrestle with an injury, whatever you want to call it. Spencer isn't. So finishes Big Tens. He wins that match. Big Ten champion, undefeated, going into NCAAs. He's the 1 seed, looking for his 3rd title. He will have no ACLs for this tournament. Okay? He goes anyways. And you can tell right away it's not Spencer Lee out there, right? But because he's Spencer Lee, he still wins NCAAs. And then from there is birthed the iconic interview and the iconic phrase, hey, F excuses, excuses are for wusses. That's what Spencer Lee said. That went viral because he did what I'm not aware of anyone ever doing, which is winning an NCAA title or any major wrestling title with no ACLs. It's an absolutely incredible accomplishment. He did it. Okay, so this is not a guy that's afraid to lose. This is not a guy who's afraid to wrestle hurt. Okay, and this is a guy who knows full well, if I don't wrestle, not only do I not win a title, but my team, the Iowa Hawkeyes, are not going to be team champions. We are not beating Penn State if Spencer Lee is not wrestling. He knows that full well. And he knows that going into the next year, right? Iowa has a chance to win. They bring their whole team back. But to win, everyone knows Spencer's got to wrestle. Okay? So what's the decision? Do you get your knees fixed or do you see if you can do it again? Okay? Spencer Lee could have very easily said, you know what? I'm going to get my surgery. I'm going to get fully healthy and all but guarantee my 4th NCAA title. Okay, I'm going to get fully healthy, get this surgery right away, and I'll come back with a vengeance. We might miss our title window for 2022, but I'm going to get my 4th title for sure. That's what he could have done, okay? That wasn't the decision that was made. That wasn't the decision that he made. He made the decision to wrestle in that 2022 season, or at least try. So what happens? So Spencer pushes back the surgery. He could have got it in March of 2021. He says he's going to try to wrestle the next year. He goes and competes in December. He wrestles at the collegiate duels in Florida. He doesn't lose, but again, it doesn't look like Spencer, but he wins because he's Spencer, right? If that makes any sense. So he finds a way to get his hand raised there, but afterwards they're like, okay, this is not going to work. Spencer Lee is not going to be able to compete at the level he needs to win an NCAA title. It's not going to be able to get it done, so we need to get surgery. But that period of time from pushing it back to getting the surgery is huge. That has compressed the timeline for Spencer since then. So what does that mean? Instead of getting basically a year and a half to get surgery, to recover, to feel ready to go, okay, He gets that surgery in January of 2022, and he is wrestling in November of 2022. Okay. So he's back on the mat. He's competing for Iowa. They use him in the Iowa State duel. He actually wrestled quite a bit this year, given the surgeries he went through. But everyone could tell by the end of the year, and Spencer won't admit it, but people close to the program and his father Larry will admit he was not healthy by the end of the year. He's still dealing with the repercussions of the injuries and the recovery, etc. Okay. Not everyone, he might be close to Superman, but not everyone can recover like that. And Spencer wasn't able to. So what you saw, and I'm not talking about the Matt Ramos, I'm talking, look the round before against Anthony Noto, which don't get me wrong, Anthony Noto, absolute stud. He's a hammer, but you could see that wasn't fully Spencer out there. He won again. He's Spencer, but he gets to Matt Ramos. He loses. Then, okay, all right, it's done. He forfeits out. Say what you want about that. But has he not earned the benefit of the doubt to a degree there, right? And then he goes to the U.S. Open. He wants to give it a whirl. He wants to give it a try. His dreams are to win world and Olympic medals. And everyone understands how 2023 sets up 2024, right? So, man, give it a shot, right? And it didn't work out. Do you think Spencer Lee wants to enter a tournament, make it to the semis, and then pull out before, right? That's just, he knows how that looks. He knows that's not what he wants to do. Everyone knows that's not what he wants to do. So why can't we give him the benefit of the doubt? And why can't we give a little bit of credit for what he has attempted to do and look at the full picture, right? And I applaud Roman Bravo Young. There were a lot of extremely negative comments about Spencer. There were a lot, and I'll also say there were a lot of really positive comments about Spencer, and that can get lost in all the negativity. But Roman said, hey, we should just be wishing the best for this guy. Wrestling fans are talking crazy. And I agree. And I think this is someone who is, put it on the line consistently. He's put the team before himself, clearly, 100%. He put the team before himself in 2021 and 2022. He's still paying the price of that decision in 2021 today, right? Because now, my hope, my wish is that Spencer will just take the time he needs to get fully healthy before he takes the mat again. Now, what full health is for Spencer Lee, I'm not sure. Is that something he can get to after all his knee surgery operation? But get back to some level of health where you can at least give it a try, give it a shot, and see what you can do in 2024. But to me, I think we should listen to his father Larry's words and just maybe not just apply it to Spencer Lee, but maybe just in life, can we have a more charitable perspective on people, have a more charitable perspective on people's intentions, and maybe give someone like Spencer Lee the benefit of the doubt.